Greetings, dear viewers! I'm Quill and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. We are continuing with our art project alongside Reen. Just like when she was painting the mural, Reen has become so engrossed with her work that it seems she has shut me, the classroom, and the entire world itself out from her own little sphere of existence. Every now and then she leans backwards, seemingly to get some perspective. Sometimes she bends forward, leaning down until her nose almost touches the paper. This rocking back and forth looks silly. Suddenly, Reen proves she hasn't completely drifted off into a world of her own and speaks. Are you having fun already? She doesn't raise her eyes from the drawing, which is a good thing. The breaking of the silence sends a jolt of surprise through me, as if I'd been electrocuted. I don't know yet. It's hard to say. I can't hear how she replies to my answer, because it seems she is suddenly having a private, whispered conversation with her sketch. I don't understand how she can draw so well when she has the attention span of a butterfly. As it seems she has lost her interest, I go back to work on my drawing as well. I try to add texture to Reen's hair, to somehow grasp the way the golden afternoon sun lights her bright red tussle of flame and transfer it to my paper in shades of black and gray. Somehow, this pen and the bottle of ink seem like such lousy, inadequate tools for the task. Minutes pass, but the sketch doesn't magically look any more like Reen than it did before. Her voice wakes me up from my despair. What about now? Excuse me? Are you having fun already? Why do you keep asking that? Because it's a club, right? Clubs are meant to be fun. You joined to have fun. Are you having fun? Is it important that I'm having fun? Yes. Okay. I'm having fun. Good. I wonder if I said that just to please her, or if I really meant it. I can't decide which it was. I don't hate this, though. I can honestly say that much. It's good enough for well. As the allotted time to finish the studies quickly ticks away, I desperately try to improve my awful sketch, but it doesn't seem to get any better. I want to start again from scratch, but what would be the point? There's no time for that either. Okay, everyone, that's it for today. Please turn in the drawings on my desk and I'll see you all next Monday. I glance at my portrait. It doesn't exactly look like Reen. I guess you could say it portrays her, but that might be a bit generous. I think that's perfectly acceptable for a first time. I actually really like the way that this the central line here from the collar eventually follows all the way down and turns into the like an outline on the lower body. The nose and jaw look hideous, and the shading is terrible. Granted, it's my first attempt at drawing with ink, but it's still pretty bad. That's not bad. She sneaked up behind me while I was lost in thought. Damn it. I was hoping I could smuggle the portrait to the teacher without you seeing it. Why? Not really happy with it. I wish I could draw better. You just need some practice. Could you take my drawing to the teacher too? Curious myself about how the sketch turned out, I peek at the picture. From the way Reen was drawing, it looked like she was really into it. It's excellent. Somehow the seemingly arbitrary strokes come together to form an image of my face. From the shape of my chin to the messy hair to the somewhat gloomy expression. Her sketch blows my mind. I'm going to say, wow, you're amazing. It's not that amazing, but thanks. I take a closer look at her work. It's still glistening with slowly drying ink. You know, I look kind of grim here. You do look kind of grim. I mean, I agree, but it's also true otherwise, too. Like this you, not the you I made. I do? I think so, at least. Her simple statement makes me feel suddenly incredibly self-conscious. I feel like I need a mirror right now to confirm or debunk Green. It's a nasty feeling. Maybe it's just her. I hope it's just her, and that I don't look like that sketch to everyone. It's a good sketch, but somehow I get a really oppressive feeling from it. I see. Anyway, it looks really good. You really are amazing. Thanks. I'm glad I could draw you. You are an interesting person. You're an interesting person too, but that didn't help me much. My self-deprecation has no limits today, but Reen ignores all that. I knew that I could never compare, but to see the difference with my own eyes is quite humbling. See, I tried to make you look like you think a lot, since you did a lot of thinking. And yeah, I might have overdone the fed up with life expression. But cynics are like that, right? I want to retort something snappy, but Nomiya gives me no time to think, ushering us to the door. Hurry up, you two! While we've been chatting, the rest of the club has taken their leave. I quickly pick up our drawings and take them to the teacher's desk before hurrying after Reen, who has already left the classroom. She's not in the hallway, to my surprise. I wonder where she managed to run off to in just a few seconds. Would have been nice to talk more. Well, not that I had much to say, except maybe get back at her for calling me a cynic. It's surprisingly late. I already got used to school ending at the same time every day, so I can feel the extra hours in my head and my gut. My growling stomach reminds me that I am absolutely ravenous. I'm so hungry that I'd dare to try anything the cafeteria staff has deemed edible. Even when I see today's delicacy, fried mystery lumps, my steely resolve doesn't fade. I stuff the dinner down without tasting it at all, which is probably for the best. I don't have much homework to do, but what little I have won't get done by itself. So I stroll toward the dormitories. Preparing for the post-homework lull, I knock on Kinji's door. He responds from the other side, although I can't make out what he said. I try the door, but it's locked. After several seconds, the locks click open, and he opens the door. Hey, could I borrow a book? The library was already closed after I got away from my club meeting. He's squinting even more than usual, and his eyebrows are twitching nervously.
Club? That's dangerous, man. Indoctrination, groupthink, brainwashing. You name it. High school clubs sow the seeds of conspiracy. Do you know how many secret societies have grown from high school clubs?
I would imagine most of them in the modern world.
Watch your back and don't get too deep in. You might not come back.
Okay, Kenji. So, how about that book?
Sure, but return them and don't spoil any of my books. No drinks, no food stains, no bodily fluids, capiche?
Sure, thanks. Instead of letting me in, he retreats from the door, closing it again. After a few seconds, he returns with a stack of 3 thick books and hands them over to me. Opening the topmost one, a familiar emblem stamped on the copyright page greets me. Your books? These are from the school library.
They're now mine.
You stole these?
What are you talking about, man? I've been liberating these from the oppressive feminist movement that controls the library.
Please say oppressive feminist movement doesn't mean that poor librarian girl Yuko. She couldn't even oppress a wet towel. Kinji turns away, mumbling something that I can't make out, and closes the door behind him. Before going to my own room, I enter the bathroom. While washing my hands, my eyes catch my reflection from the mirror above the sink. I try to look for the grimness Reen saw in me, but it's just the usual me inside the mirror that stares back. I attempt to tell myself that this is what I've always looked like, but I realize I don't remember what I looked like half a year ago. Whoop. Hit a button again. Pretty sure all I missed was a fade to black. Yep. And then a day transition. I wake up all sweaty, as if I had run a half marathon in my sleep. Odd. I don't recall sleeping badly. It seems a little pang of worry through me. I wouldn't want to have my heart acting up without being able to notice it. Still, apart from this odd exhaustion right after waking up, I'm feeling just fine. My mouth is like sandpaper and I have nothing to drink, so I have to go all the way to the bathroom to take my meds. On impulse, I decide to take a shower while I'm at it. While I'm in the shower, I make up my mind that this counts as morning exercise if I properly compensate with a nice half-hour walk after school. Obviously, I wouldn't want to risk possible complications by going running now. Besides, Emmy will never know, and I think she's giving up on me in any case. Walking could be nice, anyway, just to get to know the area. There's a big forest in the hills behind the school, or I could go down to the convenience store. While still dabbing the moisture off my skin, I set out to find my uniform. I quickly button up my shirt and pull on my pants before going outside. Normally, during this time of the year, I'd be eagerly awaiting summer vacation. Having only been at school a little over a week, I don't really have that kind of feeling. I'm still savoring the school life, and considering the sharp and awkward turn my life has taken, I haven't had the time to become preoccupied with getting free of it. Besides, once vacation's hit, it'll be a nice surprise for me if I'm not expecting it. Especially with the end of extra exams looming ahead. End of term exams. At least I don't have any catching up to do with my studies. My diligence has finally paid off. I push myself past the boys gathered in the doorway and flop into my seat. From the corner of my eye, I can see Shizune and Misha pause their unavoidably animated conversation and turn almost simultaneously in my direction. They clearly want something from me. I can tell from the way Shizune smiles. It's too obnoxiously bright to be sincere and too calculated to be spontaneous. Good morning! Her greeting is made of 100% cheer and bursting energy. Morning. I failed to put either of those into my response. You don't look very energetic. No wonder. I don't feel very energetic either. I think I didn't sleep well, but I'm not sure. She slaps me in the back and grins. Cheer up a bit. It's a great day. I catch Shizune's eyes. She has a strange, focused expression on her face, but she furrows her brow a little at direct eye contact and looks away. For a moment, I think that Shizune caught a glimpse of my worries somehow and is pondering how to respond. But then she quickly straightens her glasses, and with them, her expression. Anyway, we were wondering if you're still interested in the student council position, because we're going to make an offer you can't decline. Wait, what? I wasn't really interested in the first place. You're putting words in my mouth. Oh, Shizune. Not as such, but wouldn't it be nice to hang out with us every day while also being useful to your school? Well, to tell you the truth, I kind of joined a club. So, it'd actually be sort of hard for me to join the council too. Even if I wanted to. Which I don't, as I said. Uh-oh. Is that so? Which club is it, Hee-chan? The art club. Oh, Shizune doesn't like that. Shizune's eyes glint in a sinister way as she scowls at me. With the way she looks, I'll be expecting the art club to lose its funding before lunch break, or the art teacher to mysteriously disappear from the face of the earth. Before she manages to comment, the teacher finally enters the classroom, getting Shizune and Misha off my back and sending everyone rummaging in their bags for books and pens. I did join the art club, but the first meeting didn't really boost my confidence. I'm not really sure what I'm doing it for. I wish I could draw like Reen, but I don't know what I would do if I could. To what end would I use such a skill? I really don't know. Ignoring the teacher's sleep-inducing voice, I opened my notebook to an empty page and pressed the needle-sharp graphite tip of the pencil to it. Oh God, don't make me make a poem! Not again! That's a Doki Doki Club reference. It's very clever. It was very clever and very insightful, and you appreciated it, and you will now shower me with accolades about how great it was. And therefore, by extension, how great I am. That's the way that this is going to work, okay? I'm just letting you know, in case you're new. What to draw? I can't really think of anything good to draw. As I hesitate and raise my hand, a meek black mark left on the previously blank paper seems aggravating. There's the damn yawn. I can't even seem to get to the starting line, let alone get started. It's almost a physical feeling of being held back. Annoyingly, it reminds me of my failed attempt at jogging with Emmy. I look out of the window in desperation. Right then, a small bird takes flight from one of the cherry trees that grow everywhere on the school grounds. I can't really see it clearly, and it's not like I could tell one tiny bird from another, but I pick it as my subject anyway. Conjuring up the image of a bird in my mind's eye, I turn my gaze back to the notebook and deliberately draw a thick line across the paper to get started. It seems to be mocking me, as I can't follow up right away. Still, it's a start. Getting started is good. I slowly sketch the picture on the notebook page, the image in my brain becoming clearer as the drawing takes shape. It's really nothing, just that nameless nothing bird on paper. But that's not important. My hesitation fades into the background, along with the teacher's voice, as I continue my struggle. The feathers form a simple pattern in my mind, but on paper it's a mess of too many rough lines despite my best efforts. I realize that I don't really know what a bird's wings should look like, even if I try to think about it. I even put the pencil down and closed my eyes for a moment, trying to trace the shape of a wing in my mind. Being this serious about it all of a sudden makes me a little flustered. Art class in the middle was the easy class in between exhausting subjects like math and Japanese. But there's this other side to art. The one that you see when you don't just fool around. It's almost like a completely different thing. Hee-chan! I look up to see two girls staring back at me. Misha and Shizune have already carried their chairs to my desk and are now standing by my sides, looking at my drawing. How long have you two been there? I think you need more practice. Shizune draws a few sharp lines in the air between herself and Misha. Shi-chan agrees. Rin said the exact same thing yesterday, but why did it sound less condescending? You shouldn't judge before I'm finished. Besides, don't you know it's bad luck to see an unfinished piece of work? Misha cracks in exuberant laughter. What? Don't be silly! There's no way that could be true! Whatever. Shizune's eyebrows furrow dangerously, and the movements of her hands become abrupt, like the slashing of a knife. You should learn to take constructive criticism better! I would if you'd actually offer some. I know I'm getting too defensive and that Shizune is taking advantage of it, but I can't help it. What are you two doing here anyway? Misha wags her finger admonishingly at my nose. Tisk tisk, Hee-chan! Were you not listening to the teacher at all? We have a group assignment now! I nod bleakly and let them take the lead. So, what do you think of the lesson for today? Not much of anything. I didn't listen to a word of it. Misha slaps her forehead and shakes her head theatrically. What are we going to do with you, Hee-chan? Luckily, Shizune and Misha together are more effective than 3 or 4 normal people, so I can mostly slack on the assignment. I try my best to offer at least some assistance, but I end up being mostly useless. The teacher keeps us in class 5 minutes past the lunch bells, but eventually lets us off the hook. I quickly stuff my books into my bag, while Shizune and Misha carry their chairs back to their own seats. The failure of a bird drawing ends up crumpled and stuffed in my pocket as I hurry outside. Boo-doo-doo, 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 boo-doo-doo. Time skip. After that morning class and throughout the week, I keep bumping into Reem. Hello. This is somewhat natural as our classrooms are adjacent, but rather than just cross paths in the hallway like people regularly do, we seem to pause at the sight of each other. We invariably end up talking a little bit or just silently hanging out together. I think I'm getting used to being quiet in Reem's company, as it doesn't feel as awkward anymore. I am, by nature, somewhat introverted like her, so we fit well together. I think it's actually an anomaly for someone in this school to be so quiet. Most people here seem to love socializing. Ugh. I think it's something like, 60 or 70% extroverts out there? The introverts are not by any degree uncommon, but we are not the majority. It's something that I've noticed already, even though I haven't been here very long. People here talk a lot, and they talk all the time. It's a rare case when I see someone sitting alone, just spacing out or whatever. Obviously there are people like that here too, that Hanako girl and myself, just to name two from my own class, but overall they are a minority. At any rate, I wouldn't exactly call what Reen and I do socializing either. But it's something at least. These occurrences themselves don't bother me, but the fact they happen at all does. I hesitate to say that we are drawn together by something, but we certainly act as if we were. However, this sense of budding friendship is completely wrecked every time Reen opens her mouth. Can I listen to your heartbeat? She says this or something else about as outrageous, and I have to fend off whatever nonsense her mind has cooked up during the preceding class of a subject that she is not interested in. It seems Reen has taken a shine to my heart condition as some kind of an extension of her interest in the odder disabilities that people here have, and the consequences of said afflictions. As I stand in front of her for a second too long, looking as flummoxed as I am, she concludes it is necessary to further clarify her request. I know I can, but I mean, will you let me? Why? Do I need a reason? I'm usually pretty bad with reasons. Not per se, but if you want to do it, you probably do have a reason. Whoop. That's kinda clever. You are smarter than you look. Also, I'd rather you not. I think these things should be private. Private. I get it. I can tell you something, though, if it amuses you. I'm pretty sure it will. My heartbeat does sound very weird because of the, condition. And I hear it all the time. So you're paranoid. It's not a question, it's a statement. No, I'm not paranoid. The doctor said that abnormal attention to heartbeat is a common symptom of my condition. So for you, it's normal to be paranoid. It's not a question either. One could also say that me being like this in the first place isn't normal either. But what the heck? Paranoia almost made it to the end of this one without another yawn. Paranoia fits me fine.
I don't think it's something that actually can fit anyone or anywhere. You know, I ate an orange for breakfast today.
I keep reading all the words in a sentence and then just automatically reordering them as I talk. How was it? I'm vaguely proud of myself, managing to keep up with Reen's sudden change of topic.
Excellent. I don't remember when I last ate an orange, because it's annoying to peel one. It's on the list of things I want to learn properly.
How come you ate one then?
Emmy had some, so she peeled one for me.
Good for you. Reen stretches her back and yawns and says nothing further. She throws me a glance from the corner of her eye while she watches people pass by, but I couldn't say why. I realize, though, that this is the first time I've talked naturally about my condition with anyone, in a way. A group of boys walk past us to Reen's classroom, but she doesn't pay them any mind. They pay none to her either. My mind wanders off, spurred by the silence. Maybe I should have let her listen to my heart. It's not like it matters. Nothing really matters that much at the end of the day. I start feeling depressed for no reason again. It's like a tidal wave out of nowhere rolling over my consciousness, submerging me underwater. I feel a sigh coming out of my mouth, and I turn away from Reen, pretending to read a poster on the wall. It's an advertisement for the school festival, promoting an event that's almost a week past. The difference between me and Reen is that I'll be more likely than not dead before turning 30, while she can't eat oranges without help. I can't decide which one of us is worse off. Oh, come on. You are severely undershooting it to dead by 30. 40? Very possibly. 30? Not as possibly. I try to grasp the passing of time, but it seems hard. I'm still used to the rhythm of the hospital, where trivialities such as day of the week or time of day didn't really matter. Everything was the same no matter what. Rediscovering the significance of time is an oddly disorienting experience. And I find myself enjoying the fact that I can categorize events in this fashion. The relevancy of a ticking clock is surprisingly delightful, and I decide to start wearing an analog wristwatch, something I didn't used to do before. When I finally asked Reen on Thursday about something that's been bothering me for the entire week, it's already lunchtime. But we're going to have to find out what it is that's been bothering Hisao on the next one.